Good morning. Are you ready? It is the Fall Q 2014 iPad versus Chromebook Smackdown. In this corner, representing the Chromebook, Chris Scott.
Hi.
And on the opposite side of the ring, representing the iPad, John Corippo. Here we go. John Corippo and Chris Scott, Chromebook iPad Smackdown 2014. Round one. We have 9 rounds, by the way. Cost, deployment, customizing, charging, updating, durability, app, software, PD, and a wild card round. Are you ready? Round one, cost.
Okay, I'm representing the iPad mini today. Cost is $279, 25 watt-hour lithium polymer battery. Up to 10 hours, count them, 10. Are you taunting me?
No.
10 hours of watching, surfing, listening. You don't have to charge during the day.
I've always wanted to know.
7.9-inch screen, 1080p video, not that webcam video, and 2 cameras, and iMovie. Real video, not Wii video. More than a 4-year lifespan. We'll get into that later. With optional accessories, Bluetooth keyboard, and case. Around $35 additional price.
So I think you left off some more optional accessories, and the word optional, it's not really optional, is it? To have a keyboard? Is it optional? I don't think so.
Depends on what you're doing.
Now, full disclosure here, I grabbed the best looking Chromebook that's available today. Right? Full disclosure.
Yeah, it's
so
not really $199.
That's the HP 14. So yeah, it's the nicest one. That one is not $199. Yeah, sure. Just like his with that case and that keyboard.
Plus, you have to add $30 per device per MDM management.
I don't think I clicked that.
I did. I snuck it in.
Yeah.
And when researching on Amazon, the one that Scotty's sharing is $334.15 before MDM management, unless you want all the kids just doing whatever.
I think you can guess who had this slide deck last, right? I think we need to go back and talk about these
offsetting penalties. Warning, personal proximity. Warning, promote your device, not tear down the other.
Did Mike Niehoff
Round two. Round two.
Look at that. You know Mike Niehoff and John Corippo work together, right? Okay. All right, so
round two is deployment.
Deploying an iPad or a Chromebook, right? John's going to try and say that, oh, it's super easy to do the same thing with Apple devices.
I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it.
Ref? I'm sorry? Exactly.
We're friends. Right? You already established that.
Right. So it's super easy. It's all inside your administrator's panel for the Chromebook. So you're probably already Google Apps for Education District. And you know how difficult it can be to try and use Google Apps for Education on your Apple devices because it's not 100% functionality. But with the Chromebook, of course, it's all right there. And it's just, it's super simple the way it's laid out compared to the Apple when he's going to talk about the free Meraki, which is very difficult, and you have to tag things, which is very confusing. It's super easy to manage a whole grip, and just by a couple clicks in the mobile device management, you can change settings. You can set up your 4th grade organizational unit to be kind of locked down for testing, where you leave everything else alone and can be, roaming the web and things like that.
Excessive monologuing and audience pandering. Warning.
This court or something. Court. Come on, Chromebook people, right? All right. So it's really easy to push out apps, and it's not like on an Apple where it has to do like a handshake thing where someone has to be at the iPad at the same time, whereas with Chromebooks, you can actually just click and it gets pushed out, just like that. You can also give teachers, really easily, you can give teachers some administrative access, a certain level of administrative access, so they can add apps and push things out easily on their own.
Are you going to click for me?
Well, you did for me, so I thought I would do it.
One thing that's happened since Scottsy was working with iPads is the Apple Deploy program. It's a pretty easy process. You go to deploy.com. It sets up it takes your PO, it senses all your serial numbers, okay? And then you can link that to your volume purchase process. Apple ID for students, especially under 13, you can do that in batches now.
Did you know, by the way, that to do that for the kids that are under 13, you can only do, 2 for every minute? Yeah.
No, you just call Muffy Frank, and she'll whitelist you. You can do thousands at a time. Anyways, with the Apple ID for students, you control the password. They don't get access to
So it's like another workaround. When did Apple release that, by the way? I'm going to wait again for another Apple release.
Last spring.
Exactly. So
then you take your free Meraki. When the kids, they do a over-the-air linkage. And so what happens is when they start up their iPad, it asks for their ID information, which can be your school email address. They put that in, and they get a token. Did you just blank my slide?
What's this?
Once they do this token, they're locked in. It cannot be removed by them. In fact, if they try to restore the iPad, it'll just bring itself back to life.
Does anyone have the original iPad? Anybody out there? I do. Yeah. I do. You know, here it is.
No camera, keeping it clean.
No camera, exactly. And yet the iPhone that came up before this had a camera. So we have to wait. So Apple releases things when they please.
That's right.
Right? Whereas Chromebooks, it's already there.
It
We're
would
ready
be
to
the
go.
same way that when
the
Office
devices, the Chromebooks, like just because that one is over $300, it doesn't mean it has different functionality or improved functionality.
That's true.
It's just a little bit like more robust, the actual processor and things like that. But it's all web-based. Right?
It would be the same way.
Everything is web-based.
It would be the same way that when Microsoft Office
Do you know
came
I can't
out for
update
iOS,
this anymore? Did you
magically
know that?
Google Docs
This is
got
effectively
better.
a brick, right? A $500 brick. I can't update this.
Not walk on each other's words. Some respect, please.
Oh, right.
So anyways,
this ref.
your Meraki interface is really simple. You click some buttons and you get going.
Ref, what about monologuing?
Once again, remind you guys, clicker respect. Do not walk on each other's clickers or each other's words. Round 3, customize.
Gosh, I sure would like to use this iPad I bought. What? 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Error.
Oh, there's an error. It can't connect to the iTunes store. Chris, you're up.
Okay, yeah, so you know, I was kind of saying this, but it's all cloud-based, right? It's all easy. You just push it out. That's it. Just click some buttons inside the mobile device management. And yes, it does cost $30. That's a one-time fee. So you get a Chromebook, and let's say you guys, you know, you don't want to, you were trying to save money because you actually work for a school, right? And so you get the one that actually costs $199, which is this one. That was when it was new. I'm sure you can get grips of these for less now. But this right here, which weighs, what, like about a pound, I think.
Ish.
It's not very much. This right here can all be managed so easily from anywhere. I don't have to be on the same wireless. I don't have to be in-house with, look at that.
It's already booted.
It's amazing. It's incredible. We can do organizational units I mentioned, so we can add apps easily just by, you know, like if we have a cart and we want to share basically the Chromebooks, we can set up different users. It's something that you're not familiar with if you use iPads.
That's a tough
You
one.
can see up here on the screen,
Point
there's
taken.
4 users here. And so some schools don't have enough money for one-to-one devices. Some schools don't. Actually, a lot of schools don't. Isn't that true? And so sometimes we have a cart that we have to wheel around. We have to check out.
Sharing is
Isn't
caring.
that true?
Sharing is caring.
So we can easily share. Anyways, yeah, no viruses. Easy.
And this is how easy it is to do the same stuff Chris was talking about in Meraki. You just check boxes. If you want to turn off screen capture, you check a box.
Yeah, except the way it's laid out. If you've played with Meraki, and you'd be lucky, by the way, if you got about like 75% like actual functionality from when you push it out.
75.
Yeah, you would.
Oh my gosh.
You would.
How many
That's why you're
how many
laughing.
times have
It's
you
more like
deployed
50.
Chromebooks, Scotty?
Yeah, I've never done it.
Oh,
that's the thing.
next slide.
I've never done it. That's how easy it is. And you see why he picked me as an opponent.
Move on to your next. Move on to your talk about your ports.
We're gonna, yeah. It's pretty simple because that first slide when you talked about optional accessories, right? The optional keyboard, which is not optional if you're trying to take the S back, right? You have to have a keyboard.
It's true, you have to.
It's true, and it's a Bluetooth keyboard. But anyways, Chromebook obviously has its own keyboard and has all these expansion ports. Simple, right? It's all built in. It's all part of the price tag. Now, look at what we're doing with the iPad. Look at that. Let's buy more little bits and pieces to make our iPad work, like the $200 Chromebook. Let's buy more things. And just, if you were here before
Chris
we
is a
started,
hippie, so he doesn't like things. You just need to know that.
If you came in before we started.
Chris rejects things in all forms.
Yeah. If you came in before we started, you'll notice that we were having some difficulty with the monitor dongle.
The dongle.
It's the word that they use, right?
You do have to buy a dongle for your Chromebook, and it's $40. Just saying.
This is not, listen, this dongle, right?
I'm going to
you
blame
had
that
to
on Mike
change
Lawrence. It was his dongle. My dongle worked the first try.
What's this?
It did. My dongle always works.
What's this HDMI port?
I have both. I can have HDMI. How do you hook that into VGA?
Just be careful of gratuitous sexual jokes.
So
The same way you're going to hook in, so that's
Chris-
kind of a moot point.
Hook in or hook up, what's the difference? Chris talks about the extra devices, but I got this special secret weapon called the internet.
Except for
And I can
for
use
Flash.
I can use AirPlay to beam it up to my screen. Now you can use a Chromecast. If all you want to see is a browser, if that's all you want to see
That's
is a
not
browser.
true, actually. There's
With the
an app
internet, I can use
where you can broadcast any file that you have onto your Chromecast.
True story. I bought those little adapters. Never have used them because I don't actually need them in real life.
Is that a good one? But he still bought them. He
Applaud
still
both.
used school money, right? Now it's just more stuff sitting in a cabinet somewhere.
Okay, round 3 is over. I want to applaud you guys, both of you, for honesty during round 3. A lot of honesty, edgy honesty. Round 4, charging.
Yeah, this is a funny slide. I don't know.
This is a funny slide.
Who's going to replace all the outlets in their classroom with your $15 things?
You only need one.
Oh,
Just a backup
just one?
one. Yeah, because this is how we do it.
One?
This is
Because
how we
you
do it
have
in my
two?
one-to-one. We give the kids the cable and the little white block, and we say, take it home, don't bring it back. And then at school, we put one of these in each classroom, so we have 2 or 4 ports that are right in the wall, nothing to lose, and the teacher has 2 or 3 charging stations. Because with the 10-hour battery life, you really don't need to, but we know what 6th graders do sometimes, right? So that's what we do. We don't have to deal with hundreds of clumsy bricks. How do you send those home? And I know Chris buys the ones from China for $9, but really, they come in 2 pieces, right?
That's what your Amazon Basics is. That's from China.
I know, but this is $10.
I don't get why you're trying to throw
$10
that.
for a $40 item? How long is that going to last?
Oh, they last plenty long.
All right, this round's over
I
then.
mean, isn't everything? It's not. Oh,
Future rounds, no international insults. No international insults, please.
I think
okay?
that was iPad.
Okay, that was your one. Future
Made in
one,
China, designed
future
in
one, you are
California.
risking disqualification.
Wait, don't I get it?
Round 5. Update.
You can see where this is going, right?
The bell has sounded.
You know what he didn't mention is sending the iPads home and finding out, like, what were the kids actually doing, right? What were they actually doing on that iPad?
I have a slide about that in a minute.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
You're going to see it.
Yeah. What about getting more apps? How do we do that on an iPad?
You push a button, and
When
they
you have
all
1,000,
magically appear.
10,000 iPads?
Yeah. MDM?
Yeah, it's your MDM, right? It's the same for the Chromebook, except that it's better.
Excessive sarcasm, warning.
Yeah, the thing is that we all have to be a John Corippo to manage iPads the way he does.
Thank you for the compliment.
This Chromebook is built for the average person.
Have you ever had your Google update without checking with you first? That's ugly.
Is that a problem?
Sometimes
How many of you
stuff
have
changes and you're
updated
not
your
ready.
iPads to iOS 8? How many of you are going to update them? And your classroom? How many of you are going to update your classroom iPads to iOS 8? Which is what he's talking about right now. You're going to wait months and probably until next year until you get an update on your iPad.
Stability rules.
It's true. Stability. Again, it's all wireless, easy.
It's 1.3 gigs.
1.3 gigs.
That's where you have the kids just put them on the shelf.
When
We'll
are,
see
they
you tomorrow.
when are you going to get the patch for the new iOS 8? Because there's
It
going to
came
be an
out
iOS 8.1.1.
It was last Monday.
8.1.2 last Monday.
They're
Let's update
trying to
it
keep them
every
under a gig
Monday.
apiece. They're trying to keep them under a gig.
They're trying to, yeah, exactly.
Anything else on this round, Scottsy? Are we good? I'm just worried about running out of time. Paid apps?
Oh,
VPP?
no.
Just push button?
How do you give, who buys them?
Of various people at the district office.
Do you know with the Google Play for education, Google Play for Education.
They give me the cards when they're done with them. I
actually-
show them to my kids to taunt them. $500.
It's actually a purchase order, right? So you don't even have to worry about that stuff.
That's good. It's messy.
And
That's
also-
messy. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take it right in the face. That one's messy.
That's messy, and yet
It's messy.
you're saying there's so many apps and they're all amazing, and we can just grab them. And
I'm
then-
okay with losing this round because I got other slides coming
What
up.
about
I
when you-
lost this round big time.
You see, you're like winning even when you say you're losing.
I know it's awesome.
Excellent
I
round,
don't know
gentlemen.
why
Thank
I
you.
agreed to
Audience
this.
participation, excellent. Audience data, excellent.
Yeah.
Round 6,
Thank
durability.
Ready? We're gonna do the actual test. Where's my iPad?
Oh, you going to walk on it?
We're gonna drop it.
Let's see this.
No, I was just kidding. My kid.
Audience taunting. That's audience taunting.
No harming devices.
Yeah. How much does it cost to fix an iPad screen?
It's $2.99. I just get a fresh one.
Yeah, there it is. Do you hear that? Wasteful.
Actually,
Wasteful. What
that
are we
was-
trying to teach our kids?
That was a sucker punch.
I work at a school.
California Risk Management Authority for $20 a year will give me a theft, loss, breakage,
Do
destruction.
you know what I like to
Boom.
do?
I just
Is
get a fresh one.
I actually like to have
It's
a
like
class
leaves on a tree.
where the
They
kids
just keep coming.
fix it. The kids fix it. How about that? Let's learn how to do it.
Hey, man, listen, how many people in the audience have had your kids replace a screen on a Chromebook? It
How
sounds
many-
good. How many have done it? There's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's easy. Talk to me after. I'll show you how. Super easy. New screen costs about $45 to $65.
If you're buying them from that other country that I can't name because we're not doing countries.
That's
anymore.
where they're made. Everything is made there. Your Apple is made there.
What if a key
You're
comes?
so lost.
What if a key comes off your keyboard, Scottsy? What if a key comes off your keyboard?
At least I didn't have to buy an extra keyboard. Yeah.
$32. It's fixed.
Yeah.
Just buy a new case.
What if your keyboard loses its charge?
I plug it in and charge it immediately.
Let's walk through this.
The Bluetooth.
Let's walk through this.
Bluetooth
Okay,
keyboards
class,
will last for months
Get
on
out
one
your
charge.
iPads. Oh, make sure you have your keyboards. They're charged, right? They're right. Your keyboards are charged. Okay, let's do something that's
Can
really
you get
important.
rubber off of him?
Anyways, this iFixit. If you've actually never checked it out, check
iFixit's
it out.
awesome.
They're
Definitely
free,
check out
free
iFixit.
manuals.
Can we get a shout out for iFixit, San Luis Obispo,
yeah.
California?
I know, it's incredible. So free manuals, step by step, and then people can add comments on things to watch out for.
I'm
when
going
you
Forrest
fix it.
Gump.
My own kids, my
Wired
own
ranked
students
easiest yet near
use
impossible.
it to fix
Easiest
devices.
yet near impossible.
Because you understand that Apple continues to make devices where they can't be fixed, right? They glue things in so you can't fix them. That's called being wasteful, right?
It is.
I can open this up, take off some screws, take that screen out. There's a couple wires inside. It's pretty straightforward.
When you do this, do you ever have parts left over? I'm just wondering.
I have, actually. Some screws.
Gentlemen, you are 2/3 the way through. 3 more rounds, including the wild card. Do you guys need a rest? Scotty,
Yeah, I do.
you need a rest? Get some water?
I don't need a break.
Mr. Corippo, you need a rest? Okay.
Where
You
did I
sure?
put my iPad?
By the way, audience, there are no penalties for audience harassment. Bring it on. Okay, only speaker harassment, so it's one way only. So keep it up. Round 7, apps.
I took all that abuse in the early rounds because I'm going to knock him out right now. How many apps? How many apps? Millions.
Oh, my
of
heart.
apps.
Oh, I can't do this.
And some of my favorite apps would include things like iPhoto, GarageBand. How do you do stuff like GarageBand on a Chromebook? I know you can kind of fake it, but for reals?
How many of you are using GarageBand?
For reals?
2.
And can I
I
borrow
saw
your
2 hands.
Can I borrow your prop for a second?
No, that's not a prop. That's like my real
it's a
Chromebook.
prop. I'm going to film for my documentary film right now. Go. How do I get a wireless mic into this? How do I give kids a professional experience in video production with this? You can't. And he's going to talk about WeVideo. Sure, if you like dropping in clips from YouTube and mixing them up, that's awesome. I'm talking about professional apps. And how do you do stuff like this? Who loves educations? We do. Check the hands.
Oh,
How do you
no,
do
I
this?
love it too.
How do you
yeah.
do this without a touch interface?
Oh, yeah.
You're locked out. You are locked out. Now,
You notice
since
how I'm being patient,
since
right?
I've deployed both, I cleverly bought the Chromebook 720p touchscreen, but I'm not sure if Scottsy would spend the extra money because he's a cheapskate hippie.
Low blow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's you're one penalty away from disqualification.
It gets
Careful.
really annoying
Careful.
when you get
you get
30 iMovie trailers.
You get free 30
looking the
seconds of
same.
audience pandering. Go. 30 seconds audience pandering. Go.
It's really annoying when you get 30 iMovie trailers for this assignment over and over and over because you have 9 options, 12 options, right? And then they end up looking the same. And I thought we were trying to be creative. Isn't that what Apple is? Have you checked out the Google Play for Education? Have you checked that out? Right? Let's say we get a $199 Chromebook, right? I don't need to buy a keyboard. I don't need to buy extra chargers because they come with chargers, right?
You do have to buy MDM. Don't forget that one.
Yeah, $30 one time, right? Which actually is basically $1 a month for a 10-month school year.
Meraki MDM's free.
Yeah, but it doesn't really work. You need to try it. It's owned by Cisco, which means it's not going to be free for long.
Yeah, but there's no parts. You got to love
So,
that. There's
EduCreations.
nothing to throw away. Cisco's an American company.
Listen, there is always an app for it, right? There's always an app. You're limited to the apps. I'm not limited to the apps. Yes, I have the Google Play for Education store. Yes, it is actually made for teachers, right? It's actually.
I just did it.
It's
He's tweeting that.
You can search in the Google Play for Education store by Common Core standards, which app might suit you for, which standard you're trying to go over.
Gotta love that. We have apatic.com.
But again, here's another third party, right? Let's go to
Apatic.com
more third
is made
parties.
with pure love by Apple distinguished educators who get paid nothing to make that website. That categorizes apps by.
So how long
like
will that
SPED
last? They get paid nothing. We all know when we volunteer for things.
It's
right?
pure love that'll never stop.
Now for EduCreations, there's
Endless
one
love,
called
like
Pixie
a Lionel
Clip.
Richie song.
Will you stop interrupting me? I
I'm
didn't
still
interrupt
on my
you.
slide, and you told me to not interrupt you.
I know. Where's my clicker?
Okay, I'll end this.
No,
For my
I'm
bit.
not
No,
done.
you get to go to the next thing.
I'm going
iMovie
right now.
trailers, that's all I'm saying.
If you haven't
How many
checked out
people love
Dubstep
iMovie trailers?
Cube, it's actually pretty cool.
How many people love everybody? And it's just a phase. You don't want to do that all year, but it's a great quick start. You're all good.
Well, what about all this
I'm not going to interrupt
documentary
anymore.
stuff?
Not a word. I'm being quiet.
Yeah, so there's
Nothing.
WeVideo, but WeVideo is not the only editor, right? There's YouTube. Now you can do Photoshop is online. Oh, did you know that everything is really moving online? Did you notice that, right? And so I don't want to be locked down to apps. I want to just be able to go online, right? This is online now, right? YouTube has its own video editor, right? But back to the Google Play for Education, right? Teachers can actually leave tips inside the Google Play for Education store on how they use the apps. Yes, I can go to another website. I can go and try and find it somewhere else. But you know what I want to do? I want to just go to one place. I'm tired of having multiple logins. I'm tired of doing logins and passwords and yeah.
You're getting personal.
I know.
Personal proximity. Be careful.
Yeah. So.
How does Minecraft work on a Chromebook?
Yeah. So right now, thanks for reminding me. Actually, so Google Chrome, they're starting to. They're integrating Android apps directly with the Chromebook. They've started with 4. Just, 3 weeks ago, maybe? 3 weeks ago. They started with 4, and then pretty soon, all of the Android apps will be in the Google Play Store that work on your Chromebook. So same Minecraft that works on the iPad will work on the Chromebook. Someday. Yeah, well, but if you're willing to wait for iPads to update, and if you're willing to wait for that stuff, of course, there is a workaround, right, to get Minecraft working on it. You can sideload Ubuntu, which is a fun experiment for your kids to do if you have a techie class like that. Yeah.
Good job, gentlemen. Round 8, PD.
Okay, I got 2 exhibits for professional development. 3 and 4-year-olds don't need PD. They figure it out. Grandma and Grandpa don't need PD. They figure it out. If you're not sure, do a Google advanced image search for old person on iPad.
That's funny.
That was good enough.
That's
I like
funny.
that.
I don't know. It works the same for us, too. There is a touchscreen Chromebook if you want to spend a little bit more. It's like $320, I think, for the touchscreen, right? But, when we're talking about Chromebooks, so far we've really just been talking about the device, but we really need to talk about Google, because it's really one-on-one with Google, where Apple has to actually, they're trying to bring more Google tools into the iPad, right, to improve the functionality. So if we want our students, right? How many of you are teaching 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds? Yeah. How many of you are teaching this person?
A lot of us. A lot of us that are doing...
Right. Yes, right? How many of you are teaching more around this age? Yeah, that's what I thought. Everybody, right? So when we want to use Google tools, right, we want it to be just seamless. It needs to be smooth, right? Log in one time, and everything works. Everything works. It's just, if we're typing up a document and we need to research, oh, look, there's a research pane that pops up inside. And, in the iPad, you can only do one thing at a time. You know that, right? You can do one thing at a time. And then you have to close that thing to open another thing, right? You see how I stumbled because that's what it feels like when you're using an iPad to try and do work.
Oh, teach me the way it's
Good use of visual learning. Good use of visual learning. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So for pure functionality's sake, right, Chromebooks win every time. They win. Sure, yes, you can touch the screen. We can touch the screen if we buy the touch screen, right? We can get apps. So can we. We can do apps. But it's not even like that because we're not limited by our apps. We're not looking for another icon to click on. Which one will do this that I need it to do? Because we're just Google.
The only holdup on Chris's idea, which is really true and good, is all that only works if you take a keyboard class first because there's no touch interface.
Yeah, but that's still part of our society right now, right? Typing, isn't it? It is. Yeah, and you're still saying you're going to use a keyboard for the iPad. So that seems like a strange argument to have.
Okay. Gratuitous cheese.
I really like that the Google Play for Education store, like teachers, you can actually leave tips for each other. Like, here's how I use this app.
Are we still in round 8?
I don't
just
care.
checking.
I'll just
okay.
talk about it.
There'll never be an end to this, right? That's the beauty of it.
Never.
Okay. Gentlemen, it's the last final round, the wild card round. Audience, I encourage you to get questions ready. We're probably going to have time. And comments. Or you can heckle. That was good. Round 9, wild card round, gentlemen. This is it.
I've never actually used that Chromebook. I just thought it looked really pretty. Yeah, so let's see here. We can broadcast whatever we want. We can Chromecast. But wait, do you have your Apple TV? Oh, no, I have my Chromecast. I'm sorry, it's right here. Right? I could take it with me. $35. How much is Apple TV? $99, right? Times how many classrooms? That's what I thought, right? Exactly. So we're talking more money, more money. He's not even listening. There's my Chromecast. Yes, we can print wirelessly. If you've tried, how many of you have tried to print off your iPad? I know there's teachers at my school that are still so frustrated. They bought a device, a Air device printer, and just have never gotten it to work. It's my school, right? Whatever. But I'm just saying, real world, that's what happens. Yes, if we're John Corippo, then click, 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 and wow, it does everything.
I'm available to come to your school to train you to be me.
Yeah.
Affordable rates. And
So
I won't leave any devices
what about
behind.
when you have a printer in this room but not in another room? Well, again, through our mobile device management, which did cost $30, right? But
Feels
in
like
that,
50.
I can actually say that this cart or this room prints to this printer, right? Which ends the printer challenge of which printer do I print to. And it's all seamless, and it's just a couple clicks in the administration mobile device management. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so Brumbaugh, how easy is it to get a Chromecast on an enterprise network?
Well, same for an Apple TV.
No.
Impossible. You can't log into your Apple TV.
You
can't
know
log
not
in.
of which you speak.
You can't log in. It's impossible. You have to use a configurator.
You do.
Which
You
is
use configurator. You can churn them out like stamps. So on the Apple side, we have...
Chromebook wins all fronts.
Are you looking at the Twitter?
That's what it says, right?
We're not done. How can it win on everything? You can use AirPlay to broadcast not just your browser,
I
which
haven't
would
even brought
include
up collaborating, right? You know that.
Yeah, we haven't got there. Air Server allows you to show more than just your Chrome browser. You can show apps, you can show camera, live camera. There's a lot of things you can do. One of my favorite things to do with photography is I'll turn on my video camera and live stream it through Air Server, and kids can see me framing it in real time. Whereas, again, go back to the visual. How do you take your Instagram pictures on your what book? It's really not the same. You can buy a physical device.
Are you using Instagram in your class?
I need some help, Ref.
Right now?
You can buy
Monday?
a physical device like an Apple TV, and you also get AirDrop.
Another $100.
Yeah,
right?
but it'll work on an enterprise network if you want to.
Yes.
AirPrint.
How much money does it cost then to get your IT guy to be setting up every Apple TV?
It's just part of their normal salary. It's awesome. Do you have to buy a special printer to be able to use Cloud Print?
How about
Yes.
the iPad?
Yes. Do you?
Yeah, that's pretty much
So
every printer comes
devices.
like that.
Devices, you have to buy a device to be able to cloud print, and cloud printing is not
Same
that
for
easy.
yours.
I know. So it's a tie.
Same
That's
for
my
yours.
point. It's a tie.
Same for yours.
Now is where I beat you. Air Server gives you AirPlay capabilities for $4 a device on a Mac or a PC. No device. No hardware.
Sorry.
Did you just wipe out my slides?
I'm going back.
They're all up. There's nothing to go back to.
No, you had one more.
I know I do. It's awesome, too.
Here, I'll let you take over.
Air Server for $4 a machine, if you buy 20, allows your Mac or PC to become an Apple TV, which means if your desktop PC is sitting there, kids can take it over on the fly. And I think that's really awesome because
How
that's
do we
kids being
collaborate
able
on
to
an
share.
iPad? You said you were going to get to that.
I am, but first I got to do this.
We all love Google because we can live collaborate same time.
Right. So on how do you
And
use
what, like 50 people on one document?
how do you use
that the
Infused
number?
Learning on a device with
Twitter?
no touch interface? Infused Learning, have you guys seen
Please.
Infused Learning? It allows kids to draw their answers. So check that out. Kids can see and collaborate in real time. So a math teacher, instead of doing this, do these math problems and I'll walk around and look at your papers. With infusedlearning.com, kids can draw their answers. And you know, my motto is, if you can draw it, you can own it. Okay, so this is a form of collaboration because you can see everybody's math right now.
I
If you're on a
actually still like to
Chromebook,
use paper for that.
if you're on a Chromebook, Infused Learning really only
have
works
you ever
for the
tried
bubble
to draw
questions.
on an iPad or a computer? Have you done that? You know
Looks-
that there's this
Look, this
step
kid
you
managed
have
to get a
take
dinosaur into
where
his.
As you're taking that step, what happens? That creativity, the thought, things start to disappear because you're working with a new interface. So honestly, I just use paper, and that works great.
And with an
I don't
Apple,
mind that.
with
But
an
if we're
iPad, you
talking-
can take an Instagram of your picture of your paper and share it with a hashtag. More
Yeah,
collaboration.
well, I could take a picture with my Chromebook. I can. If it's just paper, I don't need a
sketchy
1080
picture.
camera, right? And then I can put it in my Google Doc, right? And I can use Google Drawing, or I can use another drawing app, right? Or I can use, PicMonkey or any other app just like that.
But not educations.
But there's what did I say? Pixie Clip. You were talking so much, you didn't hear me say it.
Pixie
Clip. Look it up, please. Oh, not on an iPad, but please, if you have a Chromebook or a laptop, Pixie Clip, look it up. It's awesome.
Are we good with this slide? We want to keep going.
I don't know what you had to say about that. I wasn't listening.
You said collaboration, and I had the exact slide ready for collaboration.
I know. I was
Okay,
setting you up.
plus, on the iPad side, you can do app smashing. I dare you to smash with Google Docs.
We don't have to.
You can't.
Again, we don't have to. Let's find another and then
You can-
save it and then open it in another and then save that and then open in another.
And create something. Well,
Seamless.
aw.
That's the plan. Seamless.
We used to
right?
be friends.
Open the Chromebook. Open the Chromebook. Log in. Right.
Yeah.
You know all of your apps.
Yeah.
Right. If I share that iPad and I'm making an iMovie, right? And I share that. Where is my iMovie? Now it's in the hands
It's in
of
Drive.
somebody else.
It's in Drive or on YouTube.
Did you say Google Drive?
Yes, I
That's
did.
what I thought you
Because
said.
the iPad does both, whereas Google
Because
only does
what
Google.
it can do is upload to Drive,
Yeah.
right? Can you download from Drive?
Yes.
Show us, please. We'd love to see it.
I left my Chromebook at home.
There it is. You heard it. Was that a Freudian slip? He left his Chromebook because that's what you need. You need a Chromebook to
did.
do it.
Okay, so physical keyboard for wildcard extension. Physical keyboard, it's SBAC semi-approved.
It's not approved at all. If
No,
you look
you-
it up, SBAC, it says iPad mini not supported.
You can do all
Not
the practice
supported.
tests you want.
Not supported. Okay, class, we're going to take just the state test. And we're going to use our 7-inch screen to take this test. Oh, by the way, they make us use an optional keyboard because when the keyboard pops up on the screen of an iPad, it doesn't leave us enough room to take the test. And it was proven by SBAC in their field test that taking it on an iPad and having a small area to work with reduced their test scores. No! Test scores! Bro!
Careful, too much emphasis on assessments. Too much emphasis on assessments. Careful, just a warning.
Yeah. It's funny until we have to take the test.
It has mostly Google Apps integration.
Thank you.
Mostly Google Apps integration.
It's funny until when you come back in August and they say, here's our scores.
It's a preferred device for actually creating, and it is not just a flashlight
Preferred
with a
by
keyboard
who?
when you lose
by
internet.
John Corippo. Preferred by you. I'm still creating.
Your side.
Yes.
Although it
So
seems like you just
it all
did my
comes
side
with it.
too.
No, So here's how it worked. John sent me just basically a blank deck. Here, Chris, put your stuff in, and then he took it. I think you can go from there, right? Yeah, seamless Google Apps, right? I showed you that you can you can log in easily, right? Sharing an iPad is kind of ridiculous if you're actually trying to create something that takes longer than 10 minutes or half an hour, however long you have the cart, right? With a Chromebook, if I log in on this Chromebook or I log in on his Apple laptop, or if I log in on somebody's PC, right? With my Chrome, if I'm going to Chrome, then it's all there. It's all the same. All my bookmarks, all my work, it's right there. It's right there. It's seamless. That's the thing I think you're forgetting is that you're so device dependent, right?
I think the word you're looking for is divisive.
Dependent, right? Now let's go over something really quick that I didn't put up here. If we get the $200 Chromebook, right, plus $30, right, whatever, $30, one-time fee, $30. So $230,
Plus you have
and
to
we're
pay
saving.
for all those annoying internet fees to be able to use it.
Let's say we're saving at least what, $50, maybe, right? Maybe $50. It could be more potentially if you shop around, that sort of a thing, right? So we save $50, right? Let's say we're buying 30 Chromebooks. 30 Chromebooks. So 30 times 50 is that 15 with 2 zeros.
I teach English and history.
Right?
You're on your own.
Is that right? 15? That's not, whatever, right?
It's a bunch of money.
Now do that for an iPad, right? Now the difference, I'm guessing, because I'm not doing this in my head right now, but the difference is going to end up with enough money to buy, because we love tablets so much, to buy 7-inch Android tablets, Galaxy Tab S 7-inch that cost on Amazon $162.99. I looked this morning, actually. So now, all these things he's saying, like, oh, I have a better camera, and oh, I've got this, and I like using my optional keyboard.
All those things
right?
the audience loves.
Right? Oh, look, now I have an extra 10 tablets for the same price as your 30 iPads.
That's a good one.
And it's all seamless. You know, that's the thing is now he's saying, oh, well, but that's another hassle to manage Android tablets and Chromebooks. But it's not. It's all from the same mobile device center. Administrative, what do we call it? Anybody? Thank you. The admin panel.
Are you an admin?
Yeah, I am actually.
Nice. Is it your own domain?
No.
Scotty does things like buys his own domains, and it's awesome.
But doesn't everyone have a domain?
Yes. So we're opening things up for questions to the audience.
Was I done? Did I go over all that stuff?
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh,
Now you
went
went
too
back 2
far.
slides.
Sorry.
Overclicking. I want a penalty for overclicking.
So what I want in my classroom is I want something that's easy, right? I want something that when we open it up,
was that prompted
it
by a
works.
question? Was that prompted by a question? Believe we opened it up for questions.
I'm answering my own question because I don't see any hands yet.
As a
There's a
teacher,
hand.
as a teacher, that could be dangerous. I'm just telling you. Question.
So I know on the iPad, there's a lot of great accessibility, like What on the Chromebook can I, like, do you have items that
So,
I can lock kids out?
so the question is
Why are
accessibility.
you interrupting the lady?
No, I'm getting it online for the people in the audience that are not here.
Mostly
Accessibility in single app mode.
single app mode, well, or just getting onto it.
Right. And for God's sakes, I hope your kids can type.
No, actually, you can't read.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Do you have a touch interface?
Well,
in
there's
mind?
definitely accessibility. I don't actually have experience. I'm sure other people out here have experience with
Yeah,
that.
Anybody got
Sure.
input on accessibility on the Chrome side? Yeah, and you can do spoken searches. I will, and that works on the Chrome side on the iPad too. But if you want to do a search just by speaking, you can do that. Right. Yeah, there's plenty of websites that you can find that are point and go kind of stuff. There's a lot of options. I would. Right. Yeah, there's voice to text to speech kind of stuff on the Chromebook side as well.
Speak and write. On
Speak
the
and
Chrome
write.
browser is what
The
you're
crowd's
saying.
helping you out on that one, Scotty. That was good.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't know it all.
So kiosk, the answer is from Kyle Brumbaugh, kiosk mode is really helpful too, because that allow you to control where they do and don't go. Right, right. It's cool, and it's way better in 8 because you can have you seen that you can time it out now? So you can set it for 40 minutes and then it goes away. That is iOS 8. It's a 1.3 gigabyte download, so start now.
So
Start
start
immediately.
now. Because
Set them
your
up on
school's not going
Friday.
to update it.
See you on Monday.
Yeah, don't download it here.
But it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
It is. But you have to wait another year for an update because your IT isn't going to do it. I need to put this down.
I thought you were talking to me. It was going to
No,
hurt
I
me.
need to put
Okay.
that down.
All right. So questions. Keep going on the questions. You guys are doing good. That's funny because I know an IT director that just tried to install Office on a Chromebook. Be a long day.
Yeah, I think there's pretty much any kind of Chrome extension or using Google Drive documents, that whole thing instead of Microsoft. Because you can.
Yeah, you could use
Citrix.
Citrix, or there's and that was one I
Okay,
was
I see
trying
what
to
you're
point
saying.
out earlier was that as soon as Microsoft Office came out for iOS, magically all the Google stuff started working a week later. I thought that was kind of cool and weird if we're going to get into conspiracy theories.
Because when we buy an iPad, we have to wait for things to work.
That's
what
all he's
happens,
got is we have to
right?
wait. That's
and
all
if
he's
it's not
got.
ready in, say, July, August at the latest, then you're not getting it for that whole school year.
My answer to the Office
true.
side, is don't. Just stay Google whether you're on an iPad or a Chromebook. Just don't.
Confessions of an Apple user.
Yeah, just stay with the Google side because this is what you'll hear at high schools. You'll hear this. Our kids need to be trained in what they're going to use in real life. And I say, but you're using Office 2008.
Yeah.
We have, and this is where Scotty and I are going to totally make up.
Oh, okay.
Because we have to teach our kids word processing, not an app. We have to teach our kids, I almost broke your screen. We have to teach our kids presentation, not an app. We have to teach our kids spreadsheets, not an app.
Process, right?
The process of that, because guess what? It's going to change in the next 1 to 3 years, no matter what. Even though it will take me a week to download it, I'll have it too.
A week for one. A week for one iPad. What
Yeah.
about 10,000 iPads?
10,000 weeks. Right. That usually starts, and I'm counting on Brumbaugh, any other IT reps in here, that starts with your network protocol, right? So once they will flip the switch that turns on Bonjour or ever, then it's easy. But if
And they
their
won't turn
fantasy
on
is
Bonjour.
not turning on cool stuff, it's never going to work. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
That's why we.
Now, here's my workaround, though. Here's my workaround. I'm going to go to Best Buy.
I
I'm going to buy
can't
the
hear you, I'm
cheapest
sorry.
router I can buy, probably
guy.
about $19. I'm not going to hook it into the network. I'm just going to hook it to the printer. That's how I set up Minecraft servers when they won't let me put Minecraft on the district. You just buy a $29 router that doesn't go to the internet.
Who taught you that about Minecraft?
This
Listen, I
good-looking
want
guy
my
right
kids
here.
to be collaborating, right? Real-time collaboration. That's what I want, right? If they're making a slide deck, right? Let's say they're making it in Keynote instead of emailing it back and forth.
But we
right?
have,
I want them working at the same time on
but
the
we
same
have Google
slide deck.
Slides for iPad now, and it works
I want
great.
them working at the same time.
They can collaborate on slides.
Right, but I want it to be seamless.
Yeah. You want to know how? You make, you either, yeah, you have to do that. You leave it in Drive and you make a copy. It takes one click. Now I don't want to get negative here, but I'm wondering why Google didn't just turn that on in the first place. I believe it is a marketing strategy.
Oh, like Apple doesn't have marketing strategy.
I'm just trying to even the playing ground. Other questions?
So we've got an online audience out there. Somebody said
Oh.
a comment. They said it should not be about the device. It should be about the thinking and learning.
I
Yeah.
agree.
How do you respond to that? Could you say it out loud?
Okay, so
Yes.
from the interwebs, we got this question. It shouldn't be about the device, and I think Chris and I both totally agree with that. The district that I work with,
Shouldn't be about the device.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
It should be about the processing.
Right.
Did I say should?
I don't. Yeah.
He's just trying to interrupt me again. This is my master plan in my district, because again, if you listen to people that are very organized, what they're going to say is it needs to be the same, so that it's easy to maintain, right? Well, that's not our purpose in education. Our purpose is to give kids the rich, agile experience. So my master plan in my county is going to be like this. He doesn't believe me. We're going to be on droids in K4. Then we're going to jump to iPads for 5, 6. Our labs will be Linux and Windows 7. When they get to high school, they're going to be on touchscreen Chromebooks. And unless you're in media, because you need to do Final Cut for real, not WeVideo, those kids will have MacBooks. When my kids graduate from our process, they won't say, this is all I know. They will say, what else do you have?
But if we want to get more devices in the kids' hands, I know, this is a great point. You can
And
clap.
that's one of the negatives on
Right.
Scottsy's argument, because he's made fabulous arguments. Can you guys agree?
Yeah.
And we're really good friends.
And I've never even deployed Chromebooks.
He's made me work hard today, and I even cheated on the slide deck. But the only thing that unzips his whole argument is this. If you're only on Chromebooks for the whole time because they're easy, what happens at the end?
Yeah, actually, schools, you
So
can.
it should be a blend. That's my
I'm
argument.
sorry. You weren't done yet?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's up to the school, right? What you do with the device afterwards.
No,
the
I mean
money
the kid,
I save.
once the kid graduates, if they've only been on one platform of the whole experience because it's easy.
The money that we
what?
save, right? We can buy whatever other devices and put it in a card or put it in a lab. I mean, really, we're going to be saving money buying Chromebooks than those kids that are using Final Cut Pro, because that's not for everybody. It's not.
It should be, but it's
And
not.
you know what? It's going to be online. Final Cut's going to go online. Maybe not Final Cut, but Photoshop went online. Adobe products, right? So what's the Adobe editor? Premiere, right? That's going to be online soon. You know it will be. And that's where everything's going, right? And the Chromebooks are there, ready, as more things are added to being online, like I mentioned, Photoshop.
It's a really good counter argument, but they'll still only know one platform in your world. Check out both of these links. This iPad Wells, if you follow him on Twitter, this is the kind of stuff he'll share with you. Ridiculously cool stuff, and I know that diagrams freak some of you guys out. Too many
He
arrows.
has to attack the audience. He's attacking the audience.
I was pandering. I said I know that it.
You
freaks
guys like
out.
these headbands? My wife
His wife
made
made 'em.
these. I told her, I'm like, I want these headbands to samurai.
I want a penalty for distracting. But
Hey,
anyway,
it's a diagram. You can see it.
follow
whatever.
iPad Wells on Twitter, or just Google iPad Wells. He's a dude down, I think, in New Zealand. He's either in Australia or New Zealand. If you
So
want to
it's
do
all
a,
upside down?
if you want to, yeah, he's upside down backwards. But if you, his website has basically kits like this to deploy one-to-one, especially iPads, but almost anything. It's a really awesome resource. iPad 4 with the number 4 schools.org. If you want this kind of stuff from the Google side, you go to google.com and just start searching through endless knowledge base articles.
Are there any
and hope that
Google
you get the
certified
right one.
teachers out there? Yeah, in the audience. Yeah, over here. Yeah, right here, right over here. Exactly.
More questions? Is there a winner?
GPTs.
Is there a winner?
Yes. Me, Chris Scott, is the winner.
Chris Scott, John Corippo, Chromebook iPad. What if schools don't have either? Would either work? Is that a good question?
No, Chromebooks would work
So
best.
if you don't have any tech at all, would you happen to have either one? I would think so. Anything, right? Start
Yeah.
doing something, right?
Yeah.
Could you have a Chromebook classroom and kids bring their own iPads?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, sorry.
So
I'm
kids
out.
bring their own devices, which is how we solve it in a Chromebook classroom. When you want to make movies and stuff, they can use their own phones with 1080 cameras.
Yeah, and for us, the winner is everybody, because Scott and I are both very passionate about the idea. If kids have a browser, they're winning, right? That's where it really all starts.
Yeah, don't lock it down for sure.
Yeah, don't lock it down. Oh, and one last little plug for a cool thing. If you're looking for Go Home filtering, which works great on Chromebooks or iPads, check out Securely without an E. Oh, my God, it's beautiful. You don't need to buy a box. You can send out a little thing. You lock all your kids in. You can have a at-home filtering and then at-school filtering. It's really affordable. No box, cloud-based. I figured it out by myself in 2 hours because I needed to because I had a question. So it's really, really cool stuff. And moving on to wrapping up here. Oh, just for the record, this whole thing was made in Keynote because you can't make a presentation
One at a
like
time.
this in
Emailed
Google
it to
Slides.
me, and then I emailed it back, and then I had no idea what it looked like until this morning. Right?
Let the record
Sounds
show
fair.
that at McCall in Detroit 2 years ago, he got the slide deck last.
I did, and I messed with stuff.
He left that out. It's very googly. So evaluation time. Please do evaluate us in this session. If you go to the shed. Is it shed or sked? There's controversy. And if you're online, you can still evaluate us. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming. And we're still friends after the third round of this, so we're doing okay. Have a good fall Q. See you guys later.